Hello everyone, thank you for joining us today for our Take and Make for January. Today we're going to be going over our Chinese New Year moon cake mold and lucky money envelopes. We're going to start by opening up our bag that we picked up at the Glen Abbey library, made in the creation zone. In our bag you'll notice that we have 12 pieces of paper that we're going to use to fold to make our lucky money envelopes. We have 3 3D printed objects that we're going to use for our New Year moon cake mold. We have 2 clamps. When we use our glue, we'll use that to hold it together. We have a piece of golden string we can use to make our loop for our lucky money envelopes. And we have 6 pieces of paper for our lucky stars. Tonight we're going to get started with our 3 3D printed objects for our New Year moon cake mold. First thing we're going to want to do is we're going to take our 3D printed objects. We're going to grab a toothpick. We're going to grab some sort of scrubbing brush to clean our objects that we got. These are printed on our 3D printer in the creation zone, the Ultimaker. And sometimes we use some glue to hold it, to secure it to the build plate. So what you want to do is you want to give it a quick cleaning with the brush and with the toothpick, sometimes getting into little crevices that you can't reach with the brush, just to take the glue off and any other kind of toxins or anything like that that might be on the actual plastic itself. So just to clean it up, since we are going to be using this especially with food, we want to make sure that it's nice and clean. With these molds, we are using a PLA that was used in our printer, which is food safe, especially with the piece that's going to put the impression in our moon cakes. You want to make sure that it's nice and clean. You'll notice maybe while you're cleaning it, there'll be some purple on the back of it. That's the glue that we had used in the 3D printers. So just make sure that you scrub all of that off. We don't want that to get into our food. And then you want to use your toothpick after that. After you've done a good job cleaning, you want to use your toothpick to get in the holes and the other design elements inside of the 3D print. Make sure you get any loose bits of filament out of there, any loose bits of plastic. So just go through and scrub out any little pieces you might see in there, or any loose bits that might be still caught in there from the 3D printing process. Alright, now that we have all the pieces nice and cleaned and dried, we have our 2 pieces. We have the mold and the top of the mold. What we're going to want to do is the top, which is the plunger. We're going to want to use some super glue. Super glue will allow the plastic to melt together, so it'll make a nice strong adhesion. Any sort of super glue should work. I'm using super glue gel. This seems to be give me the best results when it comes to 3D printed objects. Just put a little bit of glue along the seam, along the top. We want it to fit to the top of our mold piece. So at least this way we have a little bit of a grip to push down in our mold. Make sure when you do put it on that it fits within the radius of the piece that's going to be pushing down. We don't want to get our top caught up on the other piece of our 3D mold. Make sure it's within the boundaries of the mold that we've 3D printed. Make sure it's right in the middle. Let it dry for probably about 5 minutes. And from there, once everything is dry and good to go, this is going to be the piece that we push down on our cakes. And our mold print, then you can push down, and that'll allow us to do our imprint on top of our cakes. In the description of this video, you'll also get some links I'll post in there to some different ingredients, different recipes for our New Year moon cakes. Next, we're going to be going on to our lucky money envelopes. Alright, you'll notice that you have 12 pieces of paper from the bag. If you just want to pull out one, I started with the red one, so if you wanted to start with the red one, that's a great option. Or any other adorable piece of origami paper you might like, grab that, put it in the middle of your workplace. Now, feel free to review this video a couple times. Maybe watch it the first time and then watch it the second time, just to get used to what we're doing. So what we're going to do is take our piece of paper, flip it over, There we're going to take the bottom piece and fold it in half so we have a triangle. Make a nice crease in there. We're going to unfold it. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take our bottom corner and put it in the middle. Then we're going to fold it, make a nice strong crease in the area. The creases are very important because it's going to show us where to fold things later. So we're going to do the exact opposite. So now we're going to fold the top piece into the middle as well to match the other side. Once again, making a strong crease. So both our corners are now put in the middle. From here, what we're going to do is we're going to fold the bottom half. We're going to fold it in half again. So I'm going to fold that to meet the middle line that we pressed. So the bottom half. Push down. Once again, make a nice strong crease. This is going to show us where to fold things later. And we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. So flip the piece of paper around again. Then we're going to take the bottom edge and fold it into the middle. And make sure that you put a nice strong crease in the paper at the bottom. So this way it gives us some markings to show us where to fold it later. So once we have that done, it should look exactly like this. Once again, please feel free to watch this again a couple times just to get used to it. Then we're going to unfold it. So we had before, where just our two pieces are meeting in the middle. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our bottom right hand corner and fold it over to where we have our first fold on the top. Might take a couple tries, but just hopefully the video will show you clearly where you need to fold it. That's why it's so important to make strong fold lines in your paper. We're going to unfold it. Then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do it 4 times. So the top left-hand corner is going to go to the top right-hand corner. Once again, right to that fold line. There should be lines clearly to show you where it's going to go. We're going to fold it like this. Hopefully you can see it nice and clearly. Then we're going to unfold it again. And we're going to turn our piece of paper around. And we're going to do the exact same thing, just with the other corners. So bottom right to top left, and top left to top right. Just going to fold it again. Once again, it's all about hitting those lines that we've folded in the past. Unfold it. There we go. Bottom right, top left. Then once again, make a nice strong seam when you're pushing it down. Make sure you use your finger and run it across the bottom there. Now we're going to unfold it. So once again, we're at our neutral position with the two pieces meeting in the middle. From here, what we're going to do is we're now going to fold it in half. So you'll have a seam running down the bottom, you can see right there. So we're going to fold the bottom corner right to that line. It's going to fold that right in half. Not quite all the way to the peak, but just below that. There should be a clear fold line that you've used in the past. We're just going to fold it up to that line and make another strong seam there. So again, fold it and press nice and hard. There we go. So it should look like that. And then we're going to pick it up, fold it in half. And perfect. This is where we should be at this point for our lucky money envelope. Now we're going to flip it over at this point with our 2 points towards the bottom. And we're going to fold our first on the right hand side. We're going to fold it up. Once again, there should be a seam there that'll show you where you need to fold it. I'm just going to push, make a nice strong seam. And we're going to take the left hand side and we're just going to fold that up as well. Once again, if you want to watch the video a couple of times just to make it a little easier, that might be the best way to go about doing this. It is pretty easy once you've done it 2 or 3 times. I think at this point I paid 7 or 8. It is a lot of fun once you get used to it. Now, in one of the corners that we've made, the little peaks, just put your finger in there and just puff it out a little bit. You just want to expand that area, not the middle of the paper, but just the corners. I put my finger in there, just puff it out a little bit, and we want to fold it in, and we want to press it in. Go, just like that. And we want to push it in so it fans it out. We want to press, make a nice strong seam. And what we're going to do is we're going to pick it up and flip it over, so we're looking at the other side of the paper. Now we're going to fold those edges over so they match the other side. There you go. So now it's on both sides, and same with the left-hand side. We're going to fold it over so they match. And now we're almost there. We're going to open up the middle of our money envelope, and we're going to take the tab on the right hand side and just fold it over a little bit. So it cleans up that edge there. You just want to fold it over 1/3 of it, just so it barely goes inside the pouch. You'll see there. We'll do it on the other side as well. Might take a minute, just make sure it goes over the other edges on the side. Just press it, make sure you get a nice strong seam there. And that's what we should be looking at. Next we're going to be using that piece of golden string that we got. So we're taking probably about 5 inches, I'd say, of the string, and we're going to give it a cut with our scissors, and we're going to be making a loop so we could put it inside of our little pouch, our lucky money envelope. So grab the 2 ends. We're going to loop it around our finger, and we're going to fold it inside that little circle just to make a little knot. There we go. And that'll give us a nice loop. And now we can hang this from whatever we would like to put our little lucky money envelopes. Alright, so now, with our lucky money envelopes, we're going to use a little bit of glue to hold it together. And we're going to use our piece of golden string and our little clips. It's a clamp to hold everything together while we let the glue set. Might take probably about 15 minutes, I'd say, depending on the glue. Once again, I'm using Gorilla Glue. I do love my Gorilla Glue. It's nice and strong, and it seems to dry pretty quickly. So just put some on there. Just on one side. You don't have to put it on both. You don't want too much glue. There. Put a dab of glue on there, and make sure you put your string underneath that little flap that you fold over. Might take a couple tries, just make sure it sticks. Just take your time. It'll be a little bit tricky. Just put it underneath that flap. And then with the glue on top, we're gonna fold our money envelope in half, and you're gonna press those together. The 2 edges that you flop, that you move the edges over. So push those together and let them dry. Put your clamp on top. And let it set. Make sure your string is out the top. Nothing's bunched up. And once it's dry, you can go through and make sure everything's in the proper place afterwards. There we go. We got one of the red pieces of origami paper done. That's one of our little envelopes. We've also done a black piece of paper. Black piece of origami paper done. And we also have another one. We have our red one that was done earlier. Nice piece of gold string on the top. A little bit of glue in there, holding it all together. And there we go. Hopefully you enjoyed making our New Year mooncake molds and our lucky money envelopes. Thank you for joining us for January's Take a Make, and hopefully we see you for February's. Have a great night, everybody.